What's the halftime score? Eagles 13-10. Very interesting last drive. Looked like the Rams are going to get the ball back in very favorable field position. A great play call. Not a great play call by Kellen Moore. Goes with the screen. Caught the Rams with his pants down. First down. 10-yard gain. Gainwell got a couple of first downs. And then they get really in field goal range, but wind's blowing in their face. No confidence in Jake Elliott at this point, and there's a sack. Sends him back. Another sack. Jared Verse backing up the talk. Eagles still lead at 13-10 at the half. A good first half. Good football by the Eagles. The Rams are certainly a good team. You wonder what the snow is going to bring in the second half. We saw Saquon Barkley with his long touchdown run, a couple other really good gains. So you wonder what the second half is, because the snow is here in northwest Montgomery County where I am. It is the snow is coming down very hard right now, and it was coming down hard at the Lincoln Financial Field too. So this is going to be the accumulating hours. So when they come back out of the half, it's going to be probably snow in the rest of the game, hard snow in the rest of the game. Jalen Hurts 9-12, 66 yards. Saquon had that 62-yard touchdown run. He has 94 yards on the ground, 11 carries. Kenny Gainwell had that one carry for 10 yards at the end of the half. I mean, honestly, they weren't getting in the end zone on that final drive of the half. I mean, really, it was an underthrow to A.J. Brown, who still could have caught it, but being that it's snowing out, it's understandable that it slipped out of his hands. But I don't think that was intended to be a back shoulder throw. I think A.J. just adjusted well to it. If he leads him on that, it's probably a touchdown. If he catches it, who knows? He just dropped it right there. But that was that final drive of the half, just fortunate to not give the ball back to the Rams. Third and long, I'm sitting here thinking like, oh, Christ. Rams are getting the ball coming out in the second half. You're going to give them the ball. With the way that man punts sometimes, who knows, right? It's snowing. You're going into the wind. They might get the ball to 40-yard line after a return. The Eagles' 40-yard line. So I feel good going into the half in large part because the Rams didn't get the ball back. And that could have been a score right there. It could have been a field goal. Could have been a touchdown. So the Eagles preserved their lead. Did not score in the second quarter, though, as it is it's been a competitive game as most of us thought it would be. So Eagles get a touchdown to start the game. 6 plays, 74 yards, and that was the Jalen Hurts 44-yard touchdown. Jalen has been good. The runs count. As much as a lot of people out there are like, oh, he can't throw as well as this guy or that guy, the runs absolutely count, and you can see that. So Jalen effective on that first drive with a 44-yard touchdown run. It was a good drive. Now the Rams come back. They go 13 plays, 67 yards. That was a longer drive. Tie it up, but they didn't tie it up because Jake Elliott misses the field goal or the extra point. So does anybody have confidence in the snow that Jake Elliott's coming out there and making a field goal or an extra point at this point? Probably not. So we go touchdown, punt. Then the Eagles get the touchdown, and that's on the Saquon Barkley 62-yard touchdown run, puts them up 13-7. Field goal by the Rams, and then you go punt Eagles, punt Rams, and then the Eagles pinned deep in their own territory, third and long, and third and 23, and you had that nice gain. Or no, it wasn't third and 23. That's just where they were right there. It was a third and 14. Saquon Barkley screen pass, which you never see the Eagles do. When they do it, it doesn't normally work. And then you had Gainwell for a couple of plays, 2-minute warning. It felt like that they were really, really taking their time. I'm honestly, I'm happy that it worked out that way, being that they gave up that sack. But it felt like Sirianni was being extremely conservative with not calling a timeout a little bit earlier there, because I'm hunting for a touchdown, and Sirianni was taking his time. But thank God, because the half ends with a sack of Jalen Hurts, and then And then Verse gets his second sack of the half to end it as they were trying to throw a Hail Mary out there, and it did not happen. Eagles 13-10. Rams get the ball to start the second half. So far, so good. Yeah, so it remains one of the criticisms of Jalen Hurts that's completely warranted. In a lot of plays where he's getting sacked, he's seeing the pressure, and instead of at that point looking for the open receiver, he's just staring into the line, and he ends up and he starts moving around a little bit, and he takes the sack. So, it's all in all, they had the lead. So I wonder how this second half plays out with the passing game, and can they really have a great pass? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what this weather's going to look like. We've seen snow games before. You feel like that you have the advantage when you have Saquon Barkley and a great offensive line. So, I definitely don't feel bad about it, but you also worry about some turnovers or a couple of fluky long plays that can happen for either team, just based on the defense being at a huge disadvantage when it's snowing and it's like this. So, yeah, Jake Elliott, and he nailed the second extra point right down the middle. But still, if it's a big spot, to me, this feels like it's mental. I don't know if Hurts sucks, but he's gonna have to play better in the second half. I'll say that he is. The throw to AJ Brown. Listen, AJ should have caught it, but I don't think he was trying to back shoulder him at that point. So it is. You got a 44-yard touchdown run. So if that's a throwing touchdown to somebody, we love it. It's a running touchdown. They count the same, man. They do. I would heavy dose of run in the second half. No problem. Like, hey, run the ball. What was the drive? It was the third down. I did not like the call. It felt like that you could have set up. It was where they got sacked. So I guess it was the drive before where they had it. They had the ball. I don't know. I'm trying to read this right now. It was the drive where they were on the fringe of field goal range, and they needed they were right around midfield, and it was third and maybe like 4 or 5. I would have ran the ball and tried to set up a fourth down, and you go for it on fourth down. They ended up trying to throw the ball. I guess this is where they ended up punting, but yeah, I just didn't like it was third. Oh, so it was 3rd and 8. 3rd and 8 from the Rams 30. Yeah, I would have ran the ball. 3rd and 8 from the Rams 30. I know Jake Elliott, I'm not looking to set up a field goal. I'm looking to set up a fourth down where it's 4th and 4 and you're going for it. I was not thinking field goal there at all. Getting an easier field goal. You give me a 4th and 4 from the Rams 24-25 as opposed to he gets sacked and now it's 4th and 17 at the 39 and they were never going to go for it there. And it means they had to punt it. As we've seen in all of these games so far, you saw with the Lions, you see with the Commanders as well. They're just going to go for it on fourth down. If it's 4th and short and you're on the other side of the 50, you're going for it. And I kind of have that mindset at this point right now as well. So we have let me see where we are. Saquon Barkley also had an injured wrist, which is somewhat concerning. Not that he's not going to come out and play the rest of the game, but if the Eagles hang on and win this game, does it come out that he's a broken wrist or something? They've mentioned it more than a couple times. And you know what? Mid-major, Matt, it was a clear unnecessary roughness. Clear. He was on the ground, and I don't know, was it a defensive lineman came barreling in, total late hit. That's a quarterback, not named Pat Mahomes. It's an easy 15-yard penalty. But, yep. You do worry about the fight. They were fortunate not to have fumbled the ball there at the end of the half. Heavy run will be interpreted as heavy Hurts runs. Yeah, it should be interpreted like that. Yeah. I want Jalen Hurts to run the ball. Absolutely. It was effective. Yeah, it's effective. Hey, guys, at this point, it's not about Jalen Hurts being a passer or a runner. It's about winning this goddamn game. And they're good with Jalen Hurts running the ball. He has 5 carries for 67 yards, and he's setting up Saquon Barkley. Trust me, the defense is concerned with Jalen Hurts if he's keeping the ball or not. They have 171 rushing yards. 66 passing yards, a net 25 passing yards because of the sacks. Matthew Stafford has 126 on 15 attempts. They have 51 yards rushing. The Rams do. No, I am doing the same thing. Now, the Rams are going to adjust. I would, especially with the snow. But you have the advantage going forward, and you have the advantage with having a dangerous runner in Jalen Hurts. So I wouldn't put Gainwell in there for a couple of carries as well, right? Put both of them in the game at the same time. You don't need to be throwing the ball around here. Advantage Eagles, run the ball with Jalen Hurts. Run the ball with Jalen Hurts. We can worry whether or not he's a good enough passer after the season when they win the Super Bowl. I'm out. He's doing Kyle, you're right. They would rather have Jalen Hurts lose looking great throwing the ball than win because he's running the ball. Right. Jalen Hurts has been effective in this game. The sacks are what's killing him right now. And that's on Jalen Hurts. That's on Jalen Hurts. Eagles win 23-20. I had it as a field goal game on Friday when I made the prediction, and they're not losing this game, right? This defense is too good. They have Jalen Hurts. Matt Stafford is not I didn't know that. On the scramble that he had, he almost picked up the first down. He had 3 carries this season. He only ran the ball 3 times. So I'll take Jalen Hurts, and I'll take the Eagles in this. It's not easy for D to pull back. You know one thing Jalen's been taking? I don't care about that. You know that the one Jalen's done a really, really good job. He's sliding really early. He's sliding really early. He's making it known. He's not like Patrick Mahomes is baiting. He's slowing down before he goes out of bounds, and then he's Lottie Divac-ing it. Oh my God, I hate him. How many times did he do it yesterday? He's drawing these penalties. You know what? Someone should make it worth their while for a 15-yard and deck him, as opposed to what he's doing. Jalen has done a very good job. He's making it known that he's sliding. There's nobody coming in. He's not trying to trick anybody. All right? So, but there you go. And Jeff, I am nervous as hell. This is Philly's playoff anxiousness for me right now. Like, I'm drinking a cup of coffee here, but I could throw up at some point. I could very well throw up. I have a puke bucket, for people that don't know, for Philly's playoff games that I have thrown up in, and I will do the same. And I feel like that right now. What else do we have here? I already had that. Yeah. Second half's kicking off, everybody. I might be on after the game. I don't know.